I'm going to, we've heard about selecting patients, but it's very important to try and avoid dissatisfaction. And it's not that easy to really select the patient for a particular procedure. So I'm talking about avoiding the patient dissatisfaction. So today we have very advanced new technologies, and with the LASIK development and a lot of patients that have had better quality of life due to LASIK, we've raised the patient expectations when they get to the baby boomer age. And you simply just do a cataract procedure to get rid of the cataract is not acceptable anymore. You have to avoid astigmatism, you have to choose the right lens, you have to really customize your surgical solution. So to offer a functional and refractive result, surgeons are required to also be aware of all the new technologies and how they function to actually select a proper customized solution tailored to the patient's needs. If you listen carefully to what Klaus was saying, you really have to listen to what the patient wants. So the question is, you may think that you've selected the right lens, and the problem is there's always going to be somebody that's unfortunately not happy. So the dissatisfaction incidence is around 2 to 8%, and it's definitely less with monofocal lenses than in the premium IOLs. So if you select a multifocal implant for a patient, he's actually thinks you've promised him spectacle freedom. But roughly about 50% of these patients don't obtain metropia. So despite your best efforts, you're going to find patients that are unhappy, and they will go onto the internet and onto social media and they will blast you. It's very important for you to actually go and find out why the patient is unhappy. This may be related to complications during the surgery, vitreous loss, or descent IOL, or tilt in the IOL. It can be a post-operative problem, such as CME, or it could be in a pre-existing macular disease, or diabetic retinopathy. Could be dry eyes. You have to check before you do any ocular surgery if the ocular surface is normal. Very important. We didn't realize that 10 years ago, but today we know. PCO. I so often see patients come to me that are unhappy because of their surgery outcome. And in fact, they just have a bit of PCO. Problems linked to the optics, such as DYSPHOTOPSIA. Fact is, we're dealing with artificial lenses. You cannot have the same vision as a natural young crystalline lens. These are some of the halos and dysphotopsias, PCO, and the dry eye syndrome. So we did a study of some 50 eyes in the N+ oculentus lens a number of years ago, and we did a dissatisfaction questionnaire, and we really found that around between 75 and 85% of patients were really very happy with their vision. Some were a little bit undecided. It may have been due to dry eyes or some astigmatism. And the fact is, the thing that stands out here is, if you look in the right-hand corner here, is that in spite of all that, 98% of the patients said they would have the surgery again, or they would recommend somebody else to have the surgery. So, preventing and managing the dissatisfied patient, you have to try and get everything optimal. And you cannot promise, rather under-promise and over-deliver. It's very important to have proper pre-operative planning and counseling with the patient. And you have to have a good surgical technique. And you have to place your lens accurately. And post-operative care, you should take care of your patient operatively and be empathetic towards your patient. You have to ask yourself, were all your pre-operative requirements fulfilled? Were there any hidden pathologies? You have to do a plan, look to see what is the potential vision of the patient. You have to do accurate pre-operative measurements, and you have to compare between various technologies. Don't just rely on one. Also look at your topographies, whether you have signs of dryness, which will give you some inaccurate measurements. And then, last of all, you also have to manage your patient expectations. You have to spend more chair time, and this will pay huge dividends. Try and find out, in terms of activities, does he play golf? Do you read a lot? Are you using a cell phone? What distance you are doing this and doing that? There are some beautiful questionnaires that you can give to a patient where he can fill in those specific technologies. So, you have to, as I said just now, you must not overpromise to the patient. It's quite interesting if you say to the patient, or you give the patient a bioptics package, and you tell the patient, in case of that we were not on target with the refraction, post-operative refraction, or you may still have a blip, we can do something else, such as laser. If you say that to the patient that you can correct a post-operative ametropia, he then understands that the procedure is imperfect. This is just our standard patient questionnaire. So, intraoperatively, it's important to look at the centration of the INL. You can check that with the Varion. We use that in all our surgeries. The size of the capsular rhexis may be 5.25 millimeters. You overlap the capsular rhexis. Flax can help. And I normally operate the non-dominant eye first. And then I can make an adjustment to the dominant eye. I feel that the dominant eye's vision is very important for the patient. So, when it comes to having an unhappy patient, it requires the right attitude and effective responses in 3 areas. First of all, we can correct surgically by doing various technologies. We can maybe treat some complaints with pharmacological drops. Or, last of all, is important the psychological. You've got to have patience with this patient, you've got to listen, and you must have communication with the patient. It's of utmost importance that the unhappy patient feels supported, understood, and does not feel you've abandoned him or sent him to a colleague. And if you do refer the patient, it's very important to stay in touch with the patient. We have to do some objective tests. We must check the retina. We have to do fundus photography. We have to do ACT. We have to look at the corneal aberrations. We have to look at the pupil and the lens centration. We must examine the capsular bag. And once you find the unhappy patient, you must have some sort of a systematic approach. This is very important. First of all, he's unhappy. Acknowledge that he's unhappy about something. Express regret to the patient by saying, I'm sorry that you're unhappy with the procedure. And then tell the patient to tell me in your own words what is bothering you. And listen, and then once he's told you, summarize it and say, you said this to me, I'm correct, you said this. And then at the end, remind the patient that we actually had discussed these issues before the surgery. Because if you did a proper informed consent, it would be in there. And the patient would say, yes, doctor, we did discuss this beyond. You did tell me I would have clearance. What are we going to do about it? So once the patient feels listened to and understood, they will normally agree that the symptoms we discussed before the surgery. When they often need reassessment, their symptoms are not abnormal. And it does take, as the clients mentioned to us, that it can take time for the neuroadaptation to take place. And you can explain it to the patient, and that will reduce the symptoms. If there's a refractive or pathological issues, the patient should be actively involved in the solution. You can also say to him, can I suggest the following solutions to you? Make him understand that it's a collective decision. Negotiate in a way the agreed plan going forward. And if you decide that it's without your scope of practice and you refer the patient, stay in contact with the patient. These patients are actually not willing to have contact lenses or glasses, so it's no good offering them that. You have to wait a while. If it's a small refraction, wait 1 or 2 months, and then do the laser. The LASIK you can do, it's a very quick procedure. Piggyback lenses are not always that accurate, but they give a great result. If you are going to aim for monovision, we'll talk later today about how you choose between the different technologies. Try not to go beyond -1.5. If there's substantial spherical defects, it's better to do a piggyback lens than to do laser or do lens surgery. If there's a YAG laser, you will do YAG for the patient. And if you're going to explant, wait 3 months and do not do the YAG for the time. So in conclusion, the vast majority of patients are very happy with their visuality if you chose the right patient for the right lens. And remember, the informed consent, very specific informed consent, is very important in these cases. And I think experience helps to make things perfect. And this talk of mine is published in the book of Richard Barata. It's the last chapter of this particular book. Thank you, Mr. Chair.